Hello there, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Cartooning with Paul. Here we utilize the tips, tricks, and techniques that I've learned throughout the years, and, well, frankly, I just feel like drawing today. So come on, let's get started. You know, I've been looking at some of the other videos that I've posted, and I've noticed that some of them need a little pep. I have with me some, we'll call it coffee. Coffee. All right, let's get started here. So one of Dumbo's trailers popped up on my feed this morning, and it inspired me to maybe make a video on Dumbo today. So we're going to start with a circle, but I'm going to go a little smaller on the page for obvious reasons. So let's put the circle right about here. Okay. Now with Dumbo, because he's a pachyderm, right? Ooh, just used a big word there. Sorry, he's an elephant. We're going to, why say stuff like this? We're going to elongate that circle a little bit, just like this. Okay. And now that I've got this shape locked down, I'm going to give him his vertical axis line, but it's going to come down like this. Okay. He's off to the side, 3/4 view, but I want to follow that line back here because the head shape goes like this. And now that we have that, we're going to give him his horizontal axis line, but Dumbo is a shy guy, so he's going to be looking downward. So we're going to push that with the horizontal axis line. You'll notice that curve, that's a deep curve, because he's going to be looking downward. From there, what we're going to want to do is give him some cheeks. And it's going to go like this. I'm going to darken this in so you can see better what I'm doing. All right, so now that we have Dumbo's head shape down, let's get into the fun part. Let's throw in the face. So we're going to start in, and I like to start in on Dumbo with his trunk because that is going to determine the placement of everything else, right? So we've got right here at the crosshairs of our axis lines, I start off with this line right here. That's going to be the bridge of his trunk. And it usually comes down like this. Now his trunk, we're going to have him holding something. The reference I'm using has him holding a flag. Let's see what we can do with that. Okay, so his trunk, you kind of want to play with it this way. This is the main part of his trunk here. Later on we put in lines. We have that for a line, we have that for a line. That just gives volume to the drawing, right? So we've got this shape here, and then my model sheet has him doing this. Now Dumbo is a smaller, he's a baby elephant, so his trunk doesn't go out that far. So we want to make sure that we don't over-exaggerate the length of that trunk. So it's nice and small. We're going to keep it nice and tight just like this. Okay. Now that we have that in, that's where I like to put in his eyes. Okay, now with Dumbo's eyes, his eyes are apart by 2 eye widths. So the eyes will rest on the horizontal axis, right? They're going to be about that big. Looks like an interesting character there as it is. Look at that. All right, so now I'll draw in one eye there, and one eye there. And I'm going to erase these because that's going to freak me out and give me nightmares tonight. Okay. All right. So now that we've got the placement of the eye, I'm going to give it the shape it needs. So, kind of like a teardrop. But you really only see a teardrop shape when he's really turned to the side like this. So this eye will be wider because it's closer to you. And this one is kind of far away, so it's going to be on an angle a little bit. Okay. Dumbo was one of those few male characters that has eyelashes. All right, so now we've got, we're going to throw in some eyebrows here. Almost said eyelash again. Oh, I'm losing it right on your video. How do you like that? Okay. Okay, so now we've got the basic premise for his head shape. I see that I went a little deep here with his jaw, so I'm going to pull it up. Just like that. On either side. And I'm going to pull that in a little bit. I drew his expression a little differently than I originally anticipated, so I'll just pull that in. Okay. And now, for those amazing ears of his. The ears, they rest above here. So we're going to come in here. And of course you want to get it right here in the center. So we've got the top of his ear just like that. And then we'll bring it over so that we can see where the top of his ear will go over here. And then we're going to draw in that ear shape. Now an elephant's ears will usually come up a little bit like this at the top. And then gravity will kind of take it down just like this. But with Dumbo, because his ears are so much bigger, that's going to happen over here. Right? And we'll pull it out like this. Elephants are a real extraordinary animal to observe. If you've ever been to the zoo and checked out how an elephant moves, it's really fascinating. They're a lot of fun to study. And then once you go and you check out the real thing, you throw this movie in your DVD player and you watch how those animators knew right away that they needed to get everything just right. Just absolutely phenomenal. But then you check out movies like Tarzan, and they really took those animals and they really went for it. It's just absolutely gorgeous animation. Okay, so we've got these really cool shapes here, and all they are exaggerated shapes from a real elephant's anatomy. All right, so it just kind of comes down and does this like long S shape, and then it comes up. But seeing that he is kind of mostly head anyway, let's tuck the body in underneath it. So now when you draw Dumbo's body, the body is exactly the size it should be. It's just obscured by those large ears. So what you do when you draw in the whole body, you draw it in behind the ears. Okay? So what I mean by that is we've got, I've studied animals for a long time, so I can kind of figure out where that body would go. Shape it kind of like this. Okay. Now his back legs kind of do this. Now, of course, I am using a reference sheet. I'm using a model sheet, so I do have some help here. I'm not just pulling these shapes out of the back of my head. But remember, even with a model sheet, if you don't have a good understanding of how these bodies are supposed to be shaped, you're just copying another drawing, and it's just not going to look right if you're trying to do it professionally. So it's always a good idea to study the real thing. And if you can't get to a zoo, we have the internet now. You can look at videos online, and they can really be fascinating to watch. Okay, let's see. We want to keep the legs in the same plane, so I want to make sure that okay, and let's see this here. All right, so now we've got Dumbo's basic body shape going in here. Let's see. All right, so now that we've got Dumbo drawn in here, let's ink it in. As I've said before, don't be afraid at this point to change a line or refine the drawing a little bit. This is your drawing, and you're allowed to do whatever you want with it. But once you get enough of the drawing in there, you can throw in details that will make the drawing look more complete. I'm going to put in some nails and some hairs just to make that drawing look just a little bit more interesting. Oh, thanks, Dumbo. And now we sign it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Also, you might want to check out some of my other videos right here. Hope you enjoyed cartooning with Paul, and until then, we'll see you later.